The world doesn't remember those who chose the easy path. The stories that inspire us, the legends we admire, the names we whisper when we talk about strength. They are the people who walked the hardest roads. And let's be honest, those roads aren't paved with comfort. They're steep, rough, and lonely. But here's the truth. The hardest roads always lead to the strongest destinations. Think about the first time you struggled with something real. Not the small frustrations like waiting in traffic or burning your dinner, but the moments that shook your spirit. Maybe you lost someone you loved. Maybe your dreams collapsed in front of you. Maybe you looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the person staring back. Those are the moments life hands you the hardest roads. And in those moments, you face a choice. Do you stop or do you keep walking? I want you to imagine a young athlete named Jordan. From the outside, he didn't look like someone destined for greatness. He wasn't the fastest. He wasn't the tallest. He didn't have the natural advantages others seemed to carry effortlessly. But he had one thing, an unshakable refusal to quit. When others left the gym at 7 p.m., Jordan stayed until midnight. When others laughed at his small frame, he turned that laughter into fuel. And when life told him he wasn't good enough, he whispered back, "Watch me." Every day, Jordan walked a harder road than anyone around him. Every rejection, every failure, every tear became another step forward. And while others crumbled under the weight of defeat, Jordan built strength from it. Years later, when the lights shone brightest and the pressure was unbearable, Jordan didn't just stand tall, he soared. He became a name etched in history, not because his road was easy, but because it was impossibly hard. That's the paradox of life. The toughest climbs give you the highest views. The hardest battles shape the strongest warriors. Easy victories may feel good in the moment, but they don't change you. Struggle changes you. Pain sculpts you. The road no one else dares to walk. That's the one that will define you. But let's bring it closer. Let's talk about you. Have you ever felt like the universe was against you? Like no matter how hard you try, the setbacks keep piling up? Maybe your career feels stuck. Maybe you've been betrayed by the people you trusted most. Maybe your own mind feels like the enemy, filling your head with doubt and fear. That's the hardest road. And right now, you might feel lost on it. But hear me clearly. You are not lost. You are being led. Led to a destination so strong, so powerful, that only someone forged in fire can reach it. The struggle you're in today is the preparation for the victory waiting tomorrow. I want you to picture something. Imagine you're hiking up a mountain. At first, the trail is gentle, easy. You're smiling, maybe even whistling. But as the climb gets steeper, the rocks sharper, and your legs weaker, you start to question why you even began. The summit feels impossible. But here's the thing, the summit is never at the bottom. The view worth dying for is always at the peak. And the only way to see it is to keep climbing when everything in you screams to turn back. That's life. Life rewards those who refuse to quit. Life crowns those who don't surrender in the storm. Every person you admire today, the entrepreneurs who built empires, the leaders who changed nations, the artists whose work moved the world, they didn't find an easy road. They built themselves on the hardest ones. So when you feel crushed by circumstances, when your dreams seem farther away than ever, remind yourself, the road is supposed to be hard. Because the destination is supposed to be worth it. Let me tell you something that most people won't admit. Life does not care about your comfort. Life is not interested in making things easy for you. Life is interested in shaping you. And shaping only happens under pressure. Diamonds are created under pressure. Muscles are built by tearing and repairing. Minds are sharpened by conflict and challenge. You cannot become strong by walking only smooth, flat paths. Think about every hero's story you've ever heard. It never begins with ease. It begins with trials. It begins with failure. It begins with heartbreak. A young man grows up in poverty, ignored by society, mocked for dreaming too big. A young woman faces rejection after rejection, door after door slammed in her face. An immigrant arrives in a new country with nothing but hope in their pocket and determination in their heart. These aren't just stories, they are blueprints. Blueprints for the truth that the strongest destinations are reserved for those who endure the hardest roads. Let's return to Jordan's journey for a moment. You see, there were nights when he wanted to quit. Nights when he sat alone, staring at the ceiling, wondering why he was even trying. Nights when his body ached so badly that even moving was painful. He thought about giving up more times than he would ever admit. But each time, something deeper spoke to him. Something that whispered, "Your future self is counting on you. Don't stop now." That's the voice inside you too. You may ignore it. You may drown it out with fear or excuses. But it's there, the voice that knows you were meant for more. The voice that refuses to let you settle for mediocrity. And here's the part most people don't understand. Walking the hardest road isn't about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about proving that the dreams planted inside you weren't random accidents. They were seeds, waiting to grow. But seeds only break open in darkness, in soil, under pressure. Pause for a second and reflect. Where are you right now in your journey? Maybe you're at the very bottom, staring up at a mountain so high it makes you dizzy. Maybe you've climbed halfway, but your legs are trembling and your lungs are burning. Or maybe you've been knocked down so many times that you don't even know how to stand anymore. Wherever you are, I want you to remember this. Your pain has a purpose. Your struggle has meaning. Your suffering is not wasted. Think of Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before creating the light bulb. Imagine if he had stopped at failure number 999. Think of J.K. Rowling, rejected by multiple publishers before the world even knew the name Harry Potter. Imagine if she had given up at rejection number 5, or 10, or 20. Think of Nelson Mandela, locked in prison for 27 years, yet emerging not bitter, but strong enough to heal a divided nation. What made these people different? Not luck, not privilege, not shortcuts. They chose to keep walking the hardest road, even when every sign screamed to turn back. And here's the uncomfortable truth. You will be tested the most right before your breakthrough. Life has a way of testing your patience, your faith, and your courage just before the doors swing open. It wants to know if you're serious. It wants to see if you're worthy of the destination you're asking for. So if you're facing your darkest days right now, don't assume it's the end. It might be the beginning of something greater. The weight on your shoulders isn't there to crush you. It's there to make you stronger. The nights you cry aren't signs of weakness. They're proof that you're still fighting. The rejection, the heartbreak, the losses, they are not dead ends. They are detours. They are shaping you for a path only you can walk. Remember this quote. The struggle you're in today is developing the strength you need for tomorrow. It's not just a motivational line, it's a fact. So, don't curse your hard road. Don't wish it away. Instead, embrace it. Own it. Use it. Because one day, you'll look back and realize that the hardest road was the best thing that ever happened to you. Picture this. You're standing at a crossroads in life. One road is paved, smooth, and easy. It looks inviting, like a Sunday stroll. The other road? It's rugged. It's uphill. It's full of obstacles and storms. Which one do you take? Most people choose the first road, the one that promises comfort. But here's the harsh reality. Comfort never built greatness. Comfort never birthed legends. Comfort never created warriors. The smooth road will give you peace for a moment, but the rugged road? That's the one that will give you meaning for a lifetime. Let's dive into the journey of Maya. She was a young woman who dreamed of becoming a doctor, but her path wasn't easy. She grew up in a broken home, raised by a single mother who worked 3 jobs just to keep food on the table. Maya studied under streetlights because the electricity was often cut off. She faced ridicule from classmates who thought she'd never make it. Yet, every day, she chose the hard road. When others slept, she studied. When others gave up after rejection, she tried again. She failed entrance exams, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Every failure was a punch to the gut, but instead of quitting, she tightened her grip on her dream. Years later, when she finally stood in a white coat, holding the title of doctor, she didn't just achieve her goal. She carried the weight of every hardship, every scar, every tear, and turned them into fuel. Her story isn't unique. It's the pattern of greatness. The hardest road is always the one that looks impossible until it's done. You see, life has a way of disguising opportunity as struggle. It hides your future behind pain, rejection, and setbacks. It asks, how badly do you want it? And your answer is not in your words, it's in your actions. How many times will you get back up after being knocked down? How many times will you keep moving when the ground feels like quicksand? How many times will you believe in yourself when nobody else does? Because the truth is, nobody else will walk your road for you. Nobody else can carry your dreams across that finish line. The responsibility is yours. And that's terrifying, yes, but it's also empowering. Because it means you hold the keys. You hold the power. Let's talk about the nights when the weight feels unbearable. The nights when your chest is heavy, your eyes are swollen from crying, and quitting feels like the only relief. Everyone has those nights. What separates those who reach the strongest destinations from those who never arrive is this. They kept going anyway. They cried and kept walking. They doubted themselves and kept walking. They were laughed at, underestimated, betrayed, and still, they kept walking. That's why the hardest road doesn't just take you to your destination. It transforms you along the way. It strips you of weakness, laziness, and excuses. It forges resilience, grit, and unshakable faith. And one day, you wake up different. Not because the world suddenly became easier, but because you became stronger. Think of it like training in a storm. If you can run in the rain, you'll fly when the skies are clear. If you can lift weights with chains tied to your body, you'll be unstoppable when the chains come off. If you can fight while blindfolded, you'll dominate when the blindfold is gone. The road is hard not because life hates you, but because life is preparing you. Preparing you for doors you can't even see yet. Preparing you for victories you don't yet know are waiting. Preparing you for a version of yourself that is unrecognizable compared to who you are now. So the next time you feel like giving up, remember, easy roads never shaped legends. Easy roads never changed the world. Easy roads never gave birth to strength. But the hardest road? That's where destiny is carved. There comes a point in every hard road where you begin to wonder if it's even worth it. You've endured so much, sacrificed so much, fought so long, that the thought of continuing feels unbearable. And this is exactly where most people turn back. Not at the beginning, not when it's just uncomfortable, but right when they're closest to the breakthrough. Life has a cruel way of testing us at the edge of victory. The storm gets darkest before the dawn. The pressure intensifies just before the breakthrough. The voices of doubt scream the loudest right before silence and clarity arrive. And if you give up there, you'll never know how close you were to everything you dreamed of. Let me tell you about David. For years, he worked tirelessly on his business idea, pouring in his savings, his time, and his soul. People called him crazy. Friends stopped believing in him. Family told him to be realistic. Every failure was another scar. Every setback another nail in his coffin. He was ready to quit. But in that very moment, when he was about to surrender, something inside whispered, just one more try. That one more try changed everything. The deal went through. The doors opened. The years of pain suddenly made sense. And here's the most powerful truth. The destination wasn't just success. It was the person he became on the journey. Stronger, wiser, unshakable. Your journey is no different. Maybe you're at your breaking point right now. Maybe life has hit you with rejection after rejection, heartbreak after heartbreak, until your spirit feels crushed. But the fact that you're still standing, still listening, still breathing, that means you are stronger than you think. You are closer than you realize. Here's what most people miss. The hardest road isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's life carving you into someone capable of carrying the weight of your future blessings. Because let's be real, if everything came easy, you wouldn't appreciate it. You wouldn't be able to handle it. Success without struggle collapses under its own weight. But success built on the hardest road? That kind of success is unshakable. Think of a tree. If it grows in soft soil with no wind, it remains weak, shallow, and fragile. But if it grows in storms, battling wind and rain, its roots dig deeper, its trunk grows stronger, and it stands unmovable. That's you. The storm you hate today is the very thing that's planting your roots deep, making sure that when the sun shines tomorrow, you'll stand tall and unshaken. You might not see it now, but every scar has a purpose. Every failure is a stepping stone. Every tear is watering the soil for your future. The pain you're carrying isn't wasted. It's building a foundation for a story so powerful that one day, others will look to you and say, if they could do it, maybe I can too. And that's another truth about the hardest road. It's not just about you. It's about everyone who will be inspired by your journey. The young person who feels like quitting will hear your story and find strength. The single mother struggling to provide will see your resilience and keep pushing. The broken soul who thinks it's over will find hope in your scars. Your road becomes their light. Your strength becomes their proof. Your destination becomes their possibility. So when you feel like giving up, don't just think about yourself. Think about the people who need your example. Think about the lives that will be changed because you chose to keep walking. You may not know their names yet, but they're out there, waiting for the day your story gives them hope. This is the beauty of the hardest road. It creates not only the strongest destinations, but also the strongest leaders. And leaders aren't born in comfort. They are born in chaos, in pain, in the fire of adversity. So hold on, just a little longer. Push through. One more try. Because if you can survive this, you won't just reach your destination. You'll arrive as someone unstoppable. One day, you're going to look back on this season of your life. And when you do, you won't remember it for the pain you carried. You'll remember it for the strength it gave you. You'll see the nights you wanted to quit, but didn't. You'll remember the rejections, the failures, the loneliness, and realize they weren't breaking you. They were building you. Because the hardest roads don't just take you somewhere. They transform you on the way there. You're not the same person you were when you started. Every scar has given you wisdom. Every setback has given you patience. Every fall has taught you resilience. That's why the strongest destinations feel so sweet. Not because they were handed to you, but because you earned them. You fought for them. You bled for them. You endured for them. And that's what makes arriving at the top of the mountain unlike anything else. You know, deep down, you belong there because you climbed every inch. Remember this. Easy roads give you temporary comfort. Hard roads give you permanent strength. And the destination you're dreaming of? It's not sitting at the end of a shortcut. It's waiting at the end of the road nobody else wants to walk. So, what's your hardest road right now? Maybe it's building a business from nothing. Maybe it's healing from heartbreak. Maybe it's fighting through financial struggle, depression, or self-doubt. Whatever it is, you already have what it takes to walk it. The fact that you're still here, still fighting, still listening to these words, means you are stronger than your circumstances. I want you to take this to heart. Your pain is not permanent. Your struggle is not forever. But your strength will last a lifetime. Don't be fooled into thinking you're alone. Every person who has ever reached greatness has felt what you're feeling right now. Fear, doubt, exhaustion. The difference is, they kept going when others stopped. They kept walking when the road got unbearable. They kept believing when there was no evidence things would work out. And that's what you must do. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Keep going. Take the next step, no matter how small. Because every step forward, no matter how painful, is one step closer to your destination. And when you get there, when you finally arrive, you'll understand why the road had to be so hard. Because only the hardest roads create the strongest travelers. And only the strongest travelers reach the most powerful destinations. So, here's your call to action. Don't quit. Don't stop. Don't let the weight of today steal the victory of tomorrow. The world needs your story. The world needs your strength. The world needs the version of you that can only be born from walking this road. Lift your head, square your shoulders, take a deep breath, and step forward. Because no matter how dark it seems, no matter how heavy it feels, you are walking towards something greater. The hardest roads always lead to the strongest destinations. And your destination is closer than you think.